Let's kick it. Let's just kick it out there, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Rob. Let's just kick it. Keep it real. Hey, Frisky. Yeah, it's beautiful out. Hey, I just put my address up actually last night, so I'll text it to you. It took forever to get an address down there. Hey, Pug, how you doing? I've been just kicking it, you know what I'm saying? Daisy's been kicking it. Mom's been kicking it. Yeah, just be kicking it. I'm going to go to Savannah next week. I think I'm going to stay right down there on the wharf. Get a good sunrise. Hey, Penny. Rita just got a couple inches of water. No big deal. Nothing got wrecked. There's a turkey vulture kicking it. Been beautiful weather down here. Night's been getting down to like 52. I've been breaking my ass. I didn't hook up internet at my house either. I get 2 bars if I'm on the front porch, but it's not enough to run a chat. And I'm never going to get that house finished if I'm on the internet all the time. So that's by design. I've just been kicking it. So Rita made it all right. She kicked it. Dodged a bullet there. Actually, the humidity is 24%, which is really rare. They're fire warnings. They don't want anybody burning around here, which makes sense. It's crazy, you know. It can be rain here for a week, and a day after it rains, if the humidity gets low, a real cold, dry front comes in. They'll tell you they don't want you burning. I just said, yeah, let's just kick it. Oh, Asheville, what a mess. Hey, Blue, how you doing? These old houses and these pecan trees weathered the wind. You know, there's places in Augusta and Thompson without power or internet still, going on 3 weeks. That's just how it is. Just kicking it. Yeah, there's an extra problem there. I don't really get it. There's got to be a reason for that. I mean, and I don't know what it is. A lot of trees is one reason. I know it really took its toll on Augusta. They were bitching about that Magnolia roll, you know, that famous golf course. I guess a bunch of those trees blown. Welcome to the real world, assholes. In Florida, it still caused a shit ton of damage. Wasn't as bad as it could have been. You know, they got another tropical storm starting to fire up too down there. Yeah, Asheville, man, they really got creamed. Yeah, it's windy here today. Oh, good for you. Did you see that crazy high school professor in Florence, South Carolina? He got bit by one of those taipan snakes. He's a smart guy, but what a fucking weirdo. The cops went in and killed most of his snakes, which didn't make sense why they did it. South Carolina needs to ramp up with legislation. I mean, it's just nuts. You can have those in an apartment complex. This is Georgia, Crawfordville, Georgia. Hey, Jennifer. Yeah, look that guy up, school teacher. His name's Leibowitz. Look at his channel, too, man. Now, there's a channel that draws some attention. This guy's so off the fucking charts crazy that you'll want to watch every video. The name of it is Not Dead Yet. It's crazy as hell. He's on there holding all these fucking super lethal, deadly snakes. Fucking nut job. He's doing fine. You get to really figure out what people are. The Kentucky Zoo had some anti-venom from that. And that lady seems like a real uncouth bitch. I mean, it's up to her what she wants to do with her anti-venom. There's not a lot of that around because of the snake. And said that she wasn't going to send it to an irresponsible snake handler. Her employees were more important. I mean, wouldn't you just be better off keeping your mouth shut? Yeah, they killed him with a machete or something. Yeah, they did, or an axe or some damn shit. Police department seems nuts too. Yeah, they used a machete or an axe or something. He said there's like 13 or 14 axe marks on his floor. This guy is obviously a danger to society, especially in an apartment complex. You live out in the middle of nowhere. Even then, I mean, the whole idea behind this shit is so they don't start breeding in a. Look what the pythons did in Florida. All this stuff. I mean, the whole idea is these kooks don't get drunk and fall asleep, and 10 fucking of the world's deadliest snakes crawl out the window and start breeding. I mean, it makes sense. I don't really know. This guy's such a fruitcake. It's hard to say. For all I know, there's a cop that has a kid or a relationship in the neighborhood and thought, this is my chance to kill all these fucking things. It didn't make sense. But then when you listen to his videos and you watch this crazy bastard hold these snakes, and after all, he did get bit by the world's deadliest snake, so I guess he's not the most careful guy in the world. If you were in there and you were a vigilante, you'd probably think, well, this is my chance to get rid of all these. The odd thing is they got a search warrant based on public safety. Hey, Love, how you doing? But read up on it. Read up on it. It's an interesting story, actually. I mean, really compelling. And his videos are interesting. He's a smart guy. He's just like out there. Well, I don't know. I wasn't there. It didn't make any sense to me. I go through that down here all the time. These clowns down here don't understand the role venomous snakes play in nature. They just don't. And they kill them every time they see them. I ran over one accidentally with a lawnmower and felt like hell. I didn't see it at all after it went through the blades. And I don't see them. They're hard to see, actually, and they get the hell out of Dodge. Actually, I don't know if I told you guys this or not. I told a few people, but there's a buddy of Marty's that's an auctioneer, and his employee about a week ago was walking her dog and a snake struck and missed. She got lucky and bent down to pick the dog up and it bit her. She's lost 3 fingers so far and she's in intensive care. The average stay for a hospital stay for a venomous snake bite now is up to $320,000. Now, I don't know if this is true, but I know those taipans, that snake that guy got bit by, I know one of the main things that starts is organ damage. And he was on dialysis. And I don't know that if that was a preventative measure as part of his treatment from getting bit, or he was a diabetic. I couldn't tell by what I watched on one of his videos, so I don't know. Oh, what happened, Infilo? Now, I've read quite a bit about timber rattlers, and they're very high in neurotoxins, so you get a lot of necrosis, tissue damage, as opposed to hemotoxin, blood clotting. It'll send a blood clot up to one of your lungs, and you'll die from a snake bite, but really a pulmonary embolism. I've seen only one timber rattler in 2.5 years, and I've looked for them, and two copperheads. That's it. And that's driving my ass off. 58,000 miles last year. I mean, they really try to stay hid, and there's certain places they like to frequent. Uh, and other than that, you're going to have a hard time seeing them. I don't know. Oh, that sucks, man. Yeah, I've been ripped off before. This builder I had do this, there's a bunch of shit he didn't do right. Are you going to sue him? Yeah, even by the pond. No, there's plenty of water around here. Snakes don't need to go to the pond to get water. Yeah, I'd sue the guy. You ought to see if you can get the police department to nail him with fraud. Because that's fraud when you accept money and don't do any work. That's not just a bad job, it's much different. See if you can get the prosecutor to charge him. Yeah, thanks, Blue. Yeah, call the prosecutor's office. I mean, you're lucky he did absolutely nothing because that's fraud, not a bad job. So you may have a chance. There's places that will charge for that. Daisy charged for it. Somebody took her dog bones. Daisy's favorite dish is pasta with marinara sauce. Oh, blue pumpkins? Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't even notice them until you said something. Yeah, most people down here smash them out and let the deer eat them after a while. You want to go inside? Want to go inside? She got her little buddies in there. Yeah, that's good that he lied though, because that's fraud. See if you can get see if you can get the cops to do a police report on it. Oh, he fixed two things. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, if they're real minor, I wouldn't mention it and just pretend like you didn't know they were fixed. And at least you may have your tax dollars do your dirty work. Yeah, it's nice down here. Yeah, the weather's been great. Nights are great. Gets down to like 51, low humidity. Nice. They're always so green down here. Yeah, if they're minor, just Is it something that's easily identifiable as being fixed? Because if it was me, I'd call and say, "Hey, this guy didn't do a fucking thing," and he's at least it'll give him a chance to tell the cops he fixed two things, which kind of takes it out of the fraud realm, sort of. But if you've got an active prosecutor, like a pro-consumer prosecutor, they'll tell him either you fix this shit or give him a refund, or we're going to charge you with fraud. Yeah, I happened to catch a little bit of one of Maddie's lives, which I hardly ever do, and she was talking about how cold and rainy it was up there. Wow. Yeah, it's nice today, 77, but way low humidity. Yeah, I don't know if it snowed up there or not. Did it get that cold up there? Huh. Inflov, call a police department. It's worth a try. Maddie's not good. I mean, I rarely look at him because I know what I'm going to see. Yeah, well, I'm probably better off staying off it. It's not a good feeling. It's to me, it's surprising she's still around. It's just crazy what a young body can take. Yeah, unbelievable, man. I mean, no nutrition. It's the worst diet, drugs, and God knows what you're going to get in that. So lucky she hasn't got a bad dose of fentanyl by now. Yeah, it sucks. It really does. A new book just came out of memory. I saw it in Hilton Head the other day and bought it. About halfway through, it's interesting the neurological connections with memory and addiction. It really is a disease of the mind. You know, people think it's a choice. You just go out there, but nah, it's the way you think, the way your body responds to stimulus and things that are bad for you. That's why you can be raised by Ozzie and Harriet and still turn out to be a heroin overdose that doesn't work, never worked, and ODs. It's just in the cards. Upbringing doesn't stand a chance against an addictive mind. And Becky, she's still alive. It's insane. I don't even know how much that is. How much is that? 2 kilos. Found them on the beach. Yeah, it's a good thing Blue and I didn't find it. We'd be buying that new house on Grand Lake next spring. It would be the last place we called. Oh shit, that'd be a down payment then. Yeah, but we're at the age we could just like we could make the down payment. Shit, by the time they foreclosed on it, we might be dead. Yeah, no shit, man. Take me with you. Fuck yeah. Hey, Mary. Now the wind was coming from the opposite direction where you live. So I wonder how that got into the inlet. That wind was coming from the west to the east, not from the east to the west. We're just kicking it down here. Southern Charm, Southern Cross. Oh, okay. I'd like to find a couple big sacks of $100 bills. First thing I do is cut that motherfucker open, find that GPS, put it on the back of a semi truck, and then pate. Fuck yeah. Be great. Imagine finding a couple million in cash. I'd be a fucking legend in every strip club there is. I'd have the fucking upstairs room booked for a solid week. I'd invite Rob, Mark Kropka, all my male friends. Any bisexuals out there? Oh yeah, I've been buying them. I buy them. Yeah, it's nothing great. The Powerball is up to about 6, but not like I do when the pots are crazy. Yeah, I've been buying them. I have been, but not like crazy. Like when it's like $1 billion pot. I've just been kicking it, kicking it. Oh, Frostborn. Yeah, about time, October. At least that's normal cold. It's better than 90 degrees and the fucking cherries are blooming again going into winter. Yeah, that's it, Rob. Fuck yeah, they would. Damn right, man. Every topless bar in the country would be named Tom's Place. It'd just turn into a giant franchise. I'd hire Rita right away to interview the girls, give her a lifetime supply of cigarettes, pay her 500 grand a year just to find out what's up. Hey, Ray. Hey, Jeff. We just kicking it. You know that damn Radisson I stayed at down in Indiana, man, and they fucked that place. I thought those people were full of shit, but it wasn't the end of the world. You know, I was down there in March, and they had the damn balconies bolted shut. It's like, what? On the bedrooms? Well, I get a king size bed, leave the door open. You know, it was great. I thought, this is fucking bullshit. So I asked a couple different people, and they claimed that when people opened the doors, stuff was blowing off the walls. Yeah, bullshit. That fucking place was 51 years old. And, you know, for 50 fucking years, you're not going to bolt the sliding glass doors shut. And then all of a sudden, one day you do it. I thought, fucking bullshit. Well, you know what happened down there? The specters went through. You know, they're really on this shit after that condo collapse down in Florida. And now they condemned all the balconies in the living room, too. So when you go there, you can't go outside in the balcony. And they're not telling people when they check in. So I say, fuck that place. I'll probably never go back there again. But I was thinking about this and just doing a rough estimate of the math. Because when I lived in Chicago, I got fucked on that too. I moved into a building that was rentals that converted to condos. And before you can do those purchases down there, you have to have this big fucking $100,000 inspection where all these jackoffs go around. They do core samples and have this X-ray fucking thing and to make sure the balconies are sound. And we passed the test. So then when it converted, we all got offered units to purchase before it went in the open market. Fuck, about 3 years later, they claimed the fucking balconies were unsafe and we all got nailed about 15 grand. Now that was a 32-story building, I think, and that was fucking 20, well, actually, yeah, 25 years ago. Over 25 years ago. So I did the math down there. Now, when you get down around that environmental bullshit along the ocean, multiply it times five. From the EPA, the Army Corps Engineer, the Turtle Watch Group, all that bullshit. And then just regular construction costs. Plus, you need big ass equipment. I think that's 22 stories high. They have 90 rooms. It wouldn't surprise me at all that to bring those, first of all, you got to close the place. Who's going to want to hear jackhammers out there, right? So who knows how much rental or income goes out the tubes because you're closed. I'll bet it's $40,000 a balcony to replace those times 9, and then you add that to the loss of revenue while you're closed. And the same guy's owned it forever, so I'm sure he's just planned on running it into the ground and never fixing it. And he's just going to fuck as many people as he can that didn't do their due diligence and checked in, then realized when they went to open the balcony door that it was latched shut. And I see they also post signs on them too. So, yeah, it's just a bad deal. I lived on it was 34 floors. I lived on 32. 34 floors. I lived on 32. And it just so happened I rented there before I bought it. And, 33 had the other balcony above me, so you had some limited protection if it rained. And then 34 didn't. That was wide open, which didn't make any sense. But it's like anything. You think you have an idea what something's going to be like until you actually experience it, like marriage, travel, a job, whatever. It's like anything else. And I thought when I got that's going to be great, man. I finally got a place, and it was the best view. It was in the Gold Coast, and you face south. So I saw the Sears Tower and everything laying in bed. It was a fantastic view. But you get sick of it, believe it or not. And sitting out on the balcony, as it turns out, hardly anyone did. If you're ever in a downtown area, I don't care, New York, Philadelphia, Chicago, just look and see how many people you see sitting out in their balconies. Hardly ever. And the reason for that is it's the din of a city is just loud. Even if it's a particularly quiet day, just by virtue of all that stuff around. And that's not counting sirens and God knows what else. It's loud, super loud. That's the first thing. The second thing, it's super dirty. You wouldn't believe the shit that's flying around all night long in the air, like dust and dirt and stuff. You can go and let's say you had white lawn furniture, and you went and wiped it off at noon. You go to sit out there at midnight, and it'll be all dirty again. And you could go out there at 2, 3 in the morning, and there'd be just thousands of different kinds of bugs that would be migrating. They'd be like all over. They'd migrate all night long. So I mean, the reality of sitting out on a balcony in a downtown environment isn't what you think it is. Yeah, well, I could handle it. I could handle it with just the bedroom latch. But if I'd have went in there in the living room's latch too, I'd have pitched a bitch big time. I'd have fucking put 1,000 videos up about that fucking place. But what I learned since then, I've been kind of keeping up on it, is that they're a bunch of lying motherfuckers. They seem like the employees. I mean, they're the one guy that I know a little bit from going down there. He's worked there like 30 years. I mean, when your job's at stake and they tell you to bullshit these people about stuff blowing off the walls, that's what you just kind of fucking do. I mean, you have to come up with some reason why you can't slide the fucking balcony door up, but that guy knows that that's bullshit. And they ran out of those excuses when they condemned the living room side. It's like, well, there goes the blowing off the wall theory. No, I can sit outside. There's no hard. I bet I haven't been bitten by mosquitoes 5 times in 2.5 years. There's no water around here. That's why. If we had a fucking pond, I'd be eaten alive. Once in a while, you'll get one, but there's just, they don't have any water. That's why. They were supposed to be tearing down the Bellagio, but now I don't think they're gonna, are they? Hey, Dolly. Yeah, that's also why I didn't want a pond. I don't like the water down here anyway. It's the same kind of river I grew up on near Detroit, the Huron River. Kind of like, murky looking. You can't see a foot underneath it. Kind of the same way a Hilton Head. And it's ugly to begin with. And then secondly, it's just a big bug breeding facility. Oh, the Tropicana. So they're not gonna tear down the Bellagio? Oh yeah. And I tweaked my hip flexor, and I was fucking around down moving that shit down in Panama City. That damn thing has bothered me ever since. I used to like to go to Las Vegas and just stay there a week, like fuck around. Uh, that's the worst place in the world to go for strip clubs, any of that shit. That's sex shit. It's illegal there. They're constantly running stings and bullshit, and Vegas has a 6 foot rule. Can't get within 6 feet of the dancer, which I'm fine with, but they're just not that great. It's not that great. Strip clubs are terrible now, if you ask me. So scratch that. The horror house thing, that sucks too. I went one time about 30 years ago to the Chicken Ranch. Fucking joke, man. I wouldn't have banged any of those women for $1 million, much less pay for it. Bunch of old nasty ass old damn has-beens. God, I can't believe anybody pay for it. It's not like what you're thinking. I mean, if you took like a college cheerleading squad and turned that into the Chicken Ranch, that'd be a fucking line around the world. That Chicken Ranch, it was really disappointing. Yeah, I don't like that fully naked shit either. Most of those places you can't drink. Of course, I quit drinking anyway. That's the last fucking thing I want to see is a totally nude woman sober. Hey, Stephanie. Except Stephanie, of course. Yeah. Pink hair, tattoos, nose rings. Big fake cheap tit job. Just like way too much perfume on. Big old 6-inch nails. They look like fucking Halloween. And they're old. But it's fun to go out there and just get lost in the crowd, sit around there. Used to have like, they really cut back on entertainment in places. You used to be able to go in one casino, there'd be 5 kick-ass bands playing. I'll tell you where I like staying at the station casinos. It's off the strip. That's those guys that own the MMA, the UFC, Fertillo Brothers. Those were good deals, a great view. It was off the beaten path, but you're not just going to walk out your room and do a bunch of fun shit. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, charge for parking, yeah. And back when I was going to them when I was young, they paid the girls. Now the girls pay them to be there. They pay them like rent. And I was never a damn lap dance guy anyway. Sometimes I give 'em money just to get lost. I am not like too much of a small talk guy anyway, especially under that bullshit scenario. No, fuck no. Actually, they have a strip club in Atlanta that's famous. It's all older women, like 55 and older. Yeah, if you looked it up, if you look it up, it's like a famous place. Yeah. But I think that's more like, I mean, it's not like a hardcore, legit pervert like Rob going there. It's for a guy to take his wife, and you're kind of finding humor in it. You just can't believe it. You're just looking around, and you just can't believe it. It's one of those kind of things. It's not like for the real reasons most guys go to strip clubs. Oh, bachelor party. Yeah, Ray. You stand a chance in there. But Las Vegas used to be fun. Plus, that airport's a damn nightmare now. It's super busy all the time. Like your plane leaves at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You want to be there at 9 in the morning so you don't miss it. Oh, Scotty Bowman. I still like Tunica, even though its best days are behind it. Tunica's cool. Mississippi. Nah, too dangerous now. I used to like it. I hitchhiked down to Tijuana twice, and I was in my early 20s. It's great. I blew all my whole damn vacation money on blowjobs. First 3 days I was there, and had to have my dad wire me money. I called him up, collect. He said, "What'd you do? Spend it on blowjobs?" Big smile across Dad's face. He said, "You're a chip off the old block, son. Let me send you a couple hundred." Which I had to pay back, by the way. Oh yeah, they were then Tijuana. Actually, I was pen pals with a prostitute in Tijuana for about 15 years, till like my mid 30s. Yeah, she was like that, down there from down there. Her husband left her, blah blah blah. She's actually a nice lady. Just one day didn't hear from her. I don't know what happened to her. Yeah, it's true. Super nice lady. Not everybody that ends up into that life is just some villain, scandalous, dirty pig. Life can throw you a damn curveball, and all of a sudden you're doing something you never dreamed of. Watch those murder shows. That Dateline, Secrets Uncovered, all that shit. I mean, it's all it is doctors and astronauts and fucking physicists. It's not the guy working part time at the local beer store that clobbered his wife and buried her under the swimming pool. It's all these professionals. And if you'd have told them that at the height of their good days, they wouldn't have believed you. Yeah, pen pals. Yeah. Nah, it was all like, believe it or not, clean stuff. How you doing? She eventually quit being a hooker and was working in a drugstore as a clerk. Yeah, it's cool. I've met a lot of hookers I've liked and escorts. Actually, I still keep in touch with a couple escorts from like 35 years ago. They got grandchildren and all that shit. Not much. Like, maybe once, twice a year, I'll get a text. How you doing? Yeah, it was fun, man. It was really kind of cool. Yeah, old school hooker. My dad told me in Detroit, like in the 50s, everybody was going over to Windsor. They had legal brothels over there. Nah, I haven't talked to Becky, and probably a year ago I talked to Gary. I just got burnt out in their fucking bullshit, to tell you the truth. I don't want to hear any more of these fucking I did for her what I said I'd do, and she did nothing, which is expected with an addictive personality. And it just got to the point where I just got tired of all that bullshit. It was hardly any good stories, all fucking constant lies, soliciting for money all the fucking time. It just got like, why am I doing this? So I quit doing it. Yeah, I just didn't really, Tassie is fucking full of shit. She told me a big, exaggerated bullshit. Frederick went out of his way to be kind to her, which of course he got it broke off in his ass, just like you could expect. But that's what really turned me off on her. She made this big lie, bullshit story about trying to contact Frederick. I mean, she was hitting him up for money. He was buying her food. He'd take her to work, all sorts of stuff. And she didn't even have the fucking. Of course, this is stupid me. See, I'm going back to as if I hadn't had it broke off of my ass 50,000 times down there. Back then you're still thinking that there's a shred of decency in these fucking scammers. And there isn't. And I think she got it last time because I haven't heard from her in about 6 months. Yeah, Gary's a smart fucking Jew. Yeah, Gary's a good guy, really, believe it or not. He's fucking all these girls, in case you haven't figured that out on your own. That's part of the deal. Now, he does sell cologne, and he's just a black sheep out of a smart, educated Jew family. Gary actually was very successful at one time. He probably still is. These fucking Jews. He's probably got $5 fucking million in Israeli bonds. He lives in a nice apartment in Ann Arbor, and he always claims he doesn't have any money, but he's got, $200,000 worth of fucking cologne and perfume in his apartment. Gary's a good guy, but he owned some pharmacies, employed pharmacists, the whole bit, and got busted with semi truck loads full of fucking cigarettes from Indiana. You don't pay the tax down there, and got caught and was a convicted felon, and everything kind of went downhill after that. But when you're that kind of guy, and you like that lifestyle, and you're attracted to prostitutes, life just goes on. But Gary was a good guy to all of them. Uh, I mean, and after all, they're prostitutes. Is fucking them that big of a deal? Oh yeah, I don't fucking do it anymore. No way. If I'm gonna help anything, it's gonna be like animals. I mean, you're gonna get one out every 10,000 like Sherry that somehow found a way to get the hell out of that life. She should be dead too, in theory, but she's not, and she's actually doing well. But it's just a bad scene. Yes, federal, yes. No, he's not a fucking bullshitter. He said none of that stuff's knockoff, and I believe it. No, I forgot how he told me one time how he got that. I didn't give a fuck. I was half-ass listening. It's some kind of like closeout bankruptcy shit like that. Yeah, no, Gary's a good guy. I mean, he's fucking old school. I mean, he can barely work an email. So I think people got a little concerned when they emailed him on, want to order a fucking 55-gallon drum of Drakkar, and it was 2 months later before he responded. I mean, basically, if you want fast service from Gary, you gotta send him a smoke signal. I ought to give him a call in the next couple of days, see how he's doing. It's to me, it's amazing that they haven't found Gary chopped up in little pieces floating in the Detroit River by now. Even if was for something as stupid as stealing his inventory of cologne while he was down there selling that shit in the ghetto on a card table. I mean, how that fucker survived is a miracle. He'll think nothing of going down in the hood, setting up a card sale and a card table, bringing out $5,000 worth of uh, uh, cologne and setting up shop. Well, I think Marty's home now. Yeah, he's a good guy. No, he'll give anybody discounts. The same for anybody. He'll get you. He'll get you. He's a straight shooter. Oh yeah, here comes Marty. All right. Well, I think I'm going to sign off. I haven't talked to Marty in a while, actually. So I hope you guys have a good day today. Thought I'd sign on, party. Let's kick it. So you guys have a good day today, okay? You party on. You rock on. Thanks for coming on. See you later, guys. Bye, Steph. See you, Pug. Rob, Frisky, Blue.